Hello,
Hello,
hello, hello,
chat.
hello, chat, and hello, everyone. Welcome to the Magic Boomer podcast. I'm your host, Ben. With me, without any technical difficulties today, is our co-host, Alex. Alex, how you doing today, bud?
I mustn't tell a lie. This has been the worst 30 minutes of my life.
It's been rough, but listen, we got there. Tune in live for me yapping
Yeah.
for 30 minutes to myself. I don't know how people do this without chat. It is awful. Anyways, today we'll be going over Avatar. I think just some quick thoughts and looking at not every card in the set, but we'll definitely be talking about quite a few cards. Um, and just yeah, I'm excited. I think this set is killer. It is. I think the contrast in UB sets is this is a stark difference between Spider-Man and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles compared
Yeah.
to um like Final Fantasy. This Lord of the Rings is UB. I don't count it as UB. Like it does. That is a very much does not feel like a UB set. Um, but I guess we'll talk
Yeah.
about like
Well,
the
let's
new gen UB,
let's
right?
let's yeah. I mean, let's talk about that really quickly before we dive into the set. Like, what makes this more acceptable as a universe beyond, as opposed to um, Spider-Man, inevitably Marvel next year, and Ninja Turtles? Like, what does it do? Why does it click the box or tick the box for you in this case, while the other ones fail to do that?
I think and the professor talked a lot about it. I have said everything he said. I parroted before him. um, I
We
think
we were there first.
we you can go back to old episodes. We've talked about it like almost word for word. I think like not word for word. I'm being a bit dramatic, but that the Magic universe, not the Magic universe, the Avatar universe feels like it could be a Magic set. It feels
Yeah,
like
magic adjacent.
yes, right? Like seeing Avatar Aang and you don't know anything about Avatar, you're like, "Oh, the set is just based around this character named Aang and Katara and like this get it doesn't feel the particularly the main set bonus sheets, cards, well discussion. Um
Yeah, yeah.
but like the main
Here.
set feels like a good flavorful set when you're looking at cards you see you're like, "Oh, I understand why this character's airbending or water bending or fire bending," compared to Spider-Man where you have Spider-Ham Peter Porker buffing everything and you're like,
Yeah.
"Why?" Like, not that the card not like that I'm against that card, but it's like,
You hate
where's
Peter
the
Porker. It's fine.
flavor?
It's okay to admit
Yeah,
that.
yeah, Peter Porker sucks. No,
Yeah.
why is he buffing all of those creatures? And maybe there's some reason for flavor that I don't realize in Spider-Man, but I don't think there is. Like
Not that I could dig up,
I
and I spent hours on that lore page that I was
yeah,
writing up for us.
like I think this set is just a better Magic set, and I don't even know if it being in New York was the issue for Spider-Man. I think like the Brothers War Aftermath did a lot of damage to Magic that we are now seeing the ramifications of. That it was
Yeah.
like I would put it under like in recent times like the worst set for Magic because of the cascading impacts it's had across sets. Where you have small sets like Assassin's Creed, now Spider-Man and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles confirming being pick 2. TMNT is not a full set. It
For
is a pick.
limited.
Yeah, and
Yeah, the
that's
pick two draft set. Yeah.
and Wizard said, "Oh no, Draft 2 sucks. Here's Vintage Cube or Powered Cube, and
You
here's."
think Powered Q was sort of like compensation
I
for the pick two?
I think they were gonna
That's a hot
release it.
take.
I think they were going to release it. Like for sure. Like I don't think that this was like a they did this in like a week. I think the
Probably
choice to
not. No.
have it be the ranked premier draft format instead of a like cube pay format, I think is because of how bad Spider-Man's doing. I think that's what it is.
I would I would buy with that 100%, and I think basically everything that you said there is correct. You know, the whole fact that this was started out as a Spider-Man, that is, was started as a small. What were the pack sizes in Assassin's Creed? 7 cards, 9 cards, something like
Something like
that.
that, yeah.
Uh, yeah, small set, not meant to be drafted. Last minute decision as a reaction to the Assassin's Creed and the Aftermath boosters sort of
Yep.
backlash. Filled in the set, not even to a full 230 plus card size, with just slapdash designs that were mixed in with the really well thought out designs. I mean, I bet you could probably go through that set and pick out 70 or so cards that are just rock solid design, and then the rest of them is just fluffy filler around that.
Yep.
And conversely, Avatar as a set is 230 cards. It's a fully draftable format, which I
Yep.
think if you're designing a Magic set, you need to check certain boxes. And can it be drafted is probably the first box that you should check.
Yeah. Like,
And you can tell people put a lot of thought into this. There are some
yep.
genuine fans of Avatar on the Magic design team that stepped into this, that worked on this set, and it shows. Like,
Yeah.
these people get Avatar.
Yeah, no, someone in chat, Dracon in chat said Avatar's mechanics also feel more like they were made to fit Magic instead of
Oh,
warping Magic
absolutely.
to
Yeah.
fit Avatar. And I think that's a
Yeah.
huge I think that's like a super good way to like describe it, right? Where you have yeah, the flavor and the mechanics of Avatar fit nicely into Magic's game engine, where
Yeah.
Spider-Man and superheroes just I don't think map as cleanly to Magic's engine the same way Final Fantasy, which is a video game where you have video game mechanics that translate into a card game like pretty nicely because, you know.
Yeah, well, I think, and it's a really interesting observation, and I think it's pretty spot on. You think about Spider-Man and all like, what was the big mechanic in the Spider-Man set? Web slinging, and then
Yep.
Mayhem was the other one. There weren't really any other mechanics in the set other than the evergreen stuff that we see in every single Magic set.
Yeah.
Avatar is bringing 4 brand new mechanics that are probably going to be limited to the Avatar set because they are pretty well, ingrained with the lore in the universe there. But that's 4 whole mechanics worth of design space to build out a whole bunch of cards.
Yeah.
And even though the variations are relatively, some of them are really simple. I mean, I would wager that I would say all of the mechanics are relatively simple, but the fact that you can modulate them. The fire bending can be any number up. They probably didn't want to go too crazy with it, but fire bending 5 and 6, not outside the realm of possibility. Earth bending, to a massive land, not outside the realm of possibility. And water bending scales really nicely.
Yeah.
Airbending and its mass scalability
Yeah.
is really flavorful. Like the world itself brought so much design space to Magic, where I think, and I think I mentioned this on the previous episode, we're talking about Spider-Man. Yeah, he's got 60, 70 years of lore behind him that you could draw from, but it's just one guy. It's
Yep.
just Spider-Man and all of his infinite variations. And even those infinite variations are not all that different. It's just Spider-Man with a different paint job.
Yeah. Well, I think also like the Avatar's mechanics, there's a lot of depth to them. They're simple.
Yeah.
Earthbend, you're putting counters on a land, it has haste when it dies or it gets exiled, return it. You're like, okay, that's pretty straightforward. But when you think about like what can you do with that? Like there are
Yeah.
the basic land cycles in the set that you pay 4 tap, sack it, draw a card. Well,
Yep.
now you're like, okay, well I can earthbend this early, and then later in the game I can draw a card with it and I get it back. So I'm not losing
Yeah.
anything to draw a card. Cool.
Yeah.
Airbending. Okay, there's going to be a lot of lethals missed, and you're going to find a lot of lethals by airbending your opponent's 5-drops. Where
Yeah.
you're like,
Because
oh, I don't
it's
want
an
them to get this
offensive
cast
and a
trigger.
defensive spells.
Yeah. Right? You're taxing them for 2, and you're like, oh, they have to repay it. They have to pay 2 mana to do it again. Well, you got rid of their 5-drop. They can pay 2 to get it back. But if they have a 4-drop in hand, well, do they play the 4-drop and then pass the turn? Or do they just replay the 5-drop? And so you then have that where you're like, oh, yeah, it's like it's interesting. Or use it defensively where you're, There's the 4 mana Kyoshi's Warriors ETB, 4 mana 3/3 ETB make a 1/1 ally. Well, now you can airbend
Yeah.
that and keep getting allies. So I think waterbending, like you said, scales very nicely. Uh,
Yeah.
I think and firebending. I think firebending's gonna get people. I think there's gonna
Oh,
be.
it absolutely is. Yeah.
I think there are gonna be like moments where you're just not thinking about it and you get like fire breathing and you just like get hosed.
Yeah.
Um, Lessons coming back is great. I'm really glad they took the reins off these lessons.
Hmm.
Because there is one I was looking the enter the avatar state, one white instant. Actually, I'm gonna switch the views and I'll just
Yeah, let's just put it on the
pull this up.
screen. Yeah.
Um, it was enter the avatar state. 1 mana white instant lesson. Until end of turn, target creature you control becomes an avatar. In addition to its other types, gains flying, first strike, lifelink, hexproof.
Yeah. Insane.
You're
It's
like,
an uncommon too,
it's an uncommon instant lesson. We don't have learn in the set. Um,
which
I
is
wish we
probably
did.
a good thing.
Yeah, I wish we did because like the interesting like the play with like lessons in this set would be with learn. Um, but it doesn't feel like they feel like they took the gloves off with this set, but there's also a
Hmm.
lot of play and there's a lot of like simple things. There's a 2 mana 1/1 ETB flash ETB make a 1/1. It's resolute reinforcements from foundations,
Yep.
but we have it in what it makes allies, so it's on theme. Um,
Yep.
like in chat, Draken again said like firebending, for example, makes sense for Avatar, but at the same time it fits within Red for Magic. Red loves rituals, and giving firebending a ritual mechanic fits. 100% agree.
Yeah.
And then white,
Yeah. Absolutely.
blinking things. So you're like, oh yeah, white's airbending. Airbending's a good way to blink
Yeah.
things
To
because you
to
know,
push somebody away with your airbending and then let them come back
yeah.
later. Yeah,
Well,
that's
because
kind of how
it's
I envision it.
in the show, people don't airbending isn't used super offensively. Like it is, but it's not like firebending is used to like kill people, and
Yeah, it's a
airbending
flamethrower in
generally,
your hand.
yeah,
Like,
and airbending isn't used that way. So you're like, how do we airbend? Oh, we get rid of it for a little bit.
yeah,
um,
yeah.
I think Earth, like, what of these mechanics, which of them do you think are gonna have the largest impact in like eternal formats? I'm curious your thoughts, like in like modern.
It's yeah, that's a really interesting question. And I always look when a brand new set gets spoiled, I look for the cards that I can put into my modern decks because that's just how my brain's wired. And I unfortunately don't think there's many that are actually going to get there. I've seen plenty of people talking about certain mill cards being a thing in modern, which I don't know that you can get better mill cards than what we've already been printed in Modern Horizons 2 and 3. But there's like I look at like that the last Agni Kai, which is technically just a fight spell, but don't lose red mana out of when phases change. That's a really powerful mechanic right there to actually say, okay, you can generate this mana now in combat, but you can keep it on the back end. That's a really powerful thing. I can always see that being relatively powerful. There's a green creature whose name is escaping me. The one that lets, yeah, here we go. So Great Divide Guide, 1 in a green, human scout ally to 2/3. Each land and ally you control has add 1 mana of any color.
Yeah,
That's an impressive ability right there. Um, you know, it's funny that we're coming back to allies. We saw them originally in Zendikar
yep,
and Zendikar 2.0, the name Zendikar Rising. There we go. And it's just kind of funny that all those allies kind of suck. A really good
yeah,
friend of mine, back in Texas played a modern allies deck that actually had a mill win con, if you can believe that, and it was able to generate tons and tons of mana, play a bunch of creatures, and it was pretty cool. Not terribly competitive, but if you
but
didn't know what it was trying to do, then it could do something, relatively powerful here. Um, yeah, I wouldn't say that this is going to be in the long term, and I'm willing to be, and I'm hoping to be, proven wrong here. I don't see too many cards here that are going to have a dramatic effect on Eternal formats. I hope I am wrong. I'm looking back to my heuristics of how many big dumb legendaries are there that I could possibly get a Goryo's Vengeance out with. That's the kind of stuff I look for, but I just don't see that here. And I think that's okay, honestly.
I think I think there's a card, Airbender Ascension. Um,
The Ascension cycle is very good, yeah.
so we have like for Modern, if you don't play Modern, you don't know, this Jeskai Blink deck, or like these Blink decks with like Quantum Riddler, Felia, Solitudes, like these powerful shells, right? There's a chance we see uh airbending, because if you airbend a warp creature, you still have to pay for it. And like there are
Yeah.
better blink spells for it, but you're also able to airbend your opponent's stuff if you need to. Um so there's a world where you're airbending your warp creatures potentially. I can see this in standard happening. I can see
Oh,
like
yeah, yeah.
taking a blue white blink with like, all right, here are my quantum riddlers, here's my airbender ascensions, let's go. Honestly, this set is going to impact all formats so much, says Dylan in chat. I think I hope so. I think the Eternal set will have some bangers in older formats. Um, Also, I do like the interactions with Oculus, a porn Oculus where you manifest, because
Yeah.
I I think if you manifest a spell and you airbend it, I do think you get to cast the spell, because the spell's still in exile. It doesn't say it says you may cast while it's exiled. Its owners may
I
cast
have
it,
no idea, yeah.
because there is Aang Swift Savior who does airbend spells. He's the only
Yeah.
card who does like the vents. He's like a Venser but he airbends it.
Yeah. Kind of
So
like it's like a remain on a stick. Yeah.
yeah,
Like, yeah, Vince is a good example of this, yeah. But yeah, I do like the example of Airbender Ascension. It comes into play, airbends a creature. Whenever a creature you control enters, you put a counter on it, and then at the beginning of your instep, if it has 4 or more counters on it, you can then exile up to 1 creature you control, then return it on the battlefield under its owner's control. So it's it's not outside the realm of possibility, especially when most of that deck is relatively cheap. So if you're blinking like your Felias, your Quantum Riddlers,
yeah,
because Warp is a cast cost. So all of a sudden, if you're you blink out the Quantum Riddler, then you warp it back in. I can see this going off very very quickly, and all of a sudden you've got an instep every instep. You're blinking another creature and just getting accruing more and more value. Those lists are pretty tight, but I don't want to say it's impossible for that card to make an impact there.
yeah.
There was actually one that I just remembered. It's Elemental Teachings. It's a 4 and a green instant lesson. Search your library for up to 4 land cards with different names. Reveal them. An opponent chooses 2 of them.
Oh
Put
yeah.
those into the graveyard, and then the rest on the battlefield tapped. There's a this I forget the original card from. I think it was Rise of the Eldrazi. 3 mana, same effect. The lands go into your hand, however. This putting lands into play, what deck likes to do that in Modern? Amulet? Tron? like,
Yeah, Realms
this is
Uncharted is the card you're
Realms
thinking of.
Uncharted, thank you, yeah. I could see that being a thing too. It's 5 mana, but those decks don't really have that much trouble generating that kind of mana, and the
Yeah.
spell's just sweet by itself.
Yeah, I think it's banned in Modern. Yeah, Dark Depths is banned in Modern. Because I'm thinking you can just get Shifting Woodlands, Vesuva, Thespian Stage, Dark Depths, or some combination where you can like guarantee a Dark Depths combo. Um,
Oh, sure, yeah.
I was also thinking this is like really cute. Because how Earthbend works. I didn't think about Earthbending your fetch lands because you get your fetch lands back.
Oh,
Did not think
yeah.
about that. And for Dark Depths combo, if you tap Thespian Stage and make it a copy of Dark Depths while it's Earthbent, it comes back, so you can then do the combo again. So you have some
That's true,
redundancy
yeah.
with like Thespian Stage or what's the other card? Shifting Woodland. Like
Yeah.
if you have Shifting Woodland as a earthbending creature and it becomes a copy. I don't know how it. Oh god, the rules on that's gonna be an absolute nightmare. Um,
Smarter people than us to figure those out.
yeah. So there was one card. It was I'm looking it up. It was blue. Accumulated Wisdom. Have you seen this card? Or Accumulate Wisdom?
Yes. Yeah,
So
Accumulated Wisdom is a this is the one card that I wish could go into modern, but there are not enough playable lessons. That's the only thing this one back.
yeah. So Accumulated Wisdom. Hold on, let me turn off my cursor here. Um Accumulated Wisdom is a 2 mana instant. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put one into your hand, the rest on the bottom. Put each of those cards into your hand instead if there are 3 or more lessons in your graveyard. So a few things. Instant speed, sick. Uh
Yes.
it is a like mini stock up almost. It is obviously
A
instant
little bit,
speed,
yeah.
50% cheaper. But you get 50%, well, you get 100% less cards. You
Yeah.
only get 1 card. But if you have your lessons, this is all, it dodges Shieldred, it dodges Bowmasters, it dodges any draw
Hmm.
effects that puts the cards in your hand. And there is like cost reduction in standard where this can become ancestral recall. Like it
Yeah.
like this with like enough lessons, or if you just run 4 of these. Like um
I mean, I really think this is going to see. I'm going to stick my flag right now. I think we're going to get a heavy lesson based control deck in standard. It's going to be most likely Jeskai colors because we do get accumulated wisdom here. We get redirect lightning, combustion technique, which allows you to burn creatures and exile them if you
yep.
equal to the number of lessons in the graveyard. There's a lot of really powerful lessons here. Airbender's Reversal, which lets you airbend a creature you control or destroy a target attacking creature. That's a lot of flexibility there. All I need is a way to win the game. And
Yeah.
it can't be that hard, right?
I mean, you have cards like Redirect Lightning, which is the 1 mana instant redirect. So you can either pay 2 mana or 5 life. So you can redirect burn spells, you can redirect hand attack.
Redirect a burn spell by burning myself even more.
Well, I mean,
Brilliant.
you can kill their creature, right? Like that's um
True, true.
also notably with Screaming Nemesis in the format. Yes, if Screaming Nemesis is dealing damage to you, you get to redirect that to your burn opponent and either kill their
Yep.
creature or stop, and not that they're really gaining life. Price of Freedom is land destruction. 2 mana
Yep.
sorcery, destroy target artifact or land an opponent controls. They may search their library for a basic land, draw a card. You draw a card. So you can, if they don't have enough basics, you can start just blowing up their lands. It blows up basics. It doesn't say non-basic like most of these do. Um, you have, and then if you have the bird, that one of your opponents shuffles or searches their
Yeah, the
library, so you can like do a Jeskai like, or even like an is it like land destruction deck where you're using ways to like demolition field effects and land destruction like this to make them shuffle. And if they don't want to, then then you're just getting a land, and you're
yeah.
going up a card. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, you bring up Wan Shi Tong Librarian, which is the blue bird that gets bigger when they shuffle. So it's Flash Flying Vigilance, X blue blue, it's a 1/1. When it enters, it puts X +1/+1 counters on it, and you draw X cards rounded
yep,
down. And then the shuffle ability gets bigger and you draw a card when they shuffle their library. That is my pie in the sky card to play in internal formats because what is everybody doing on every single turn in modern? Crack fetch, crack fetch, crack
yeah.
fetch, crack
I
fetch.
I also like there are some like callbacks to older cards. So we have like Boomerang Basics, which is a callback to the card Boomerang. It is
Yep.
much. It is a 1 mana sorcery instead of a 2 mana instant. It doesn't return lands because that play pattern's god awful. Um,
Yes, it is.
but you also have the option of, oh, I can return a thing I control to draw a card. Cool.
Yeah.
I'll quench ya, 2 mana counter target spell unless its controller pays 2. Almost mana leak. I think that is just quench with yeah, it is literally
It's
just
Quench with a
quench with a
different
lesson.
name. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's like a lot of the lessons are just real are already existing magic cards, but now they are lessons.
yeah,
Maybe I I'm tempted to call that lazy design, but it's also pretty brilliant. To just why make it harder on yourself when these things already exist?
yeah.
And it it's I can just hear Sokka's oh wow, what do you call those poems?
Haikus?
Yeah, there we go. Thank you. That's all I can think about is that episode where he falls into the tea den and everyone's so impressed by him, and then he gets thrown out because he does one too many syllables. It's such a
Yeah.
great episode.
Like there's just such I don't know. I think the set is I think it's just like a good set. Like looking at it.
Yeah,
And I'm hoping I think like again, I think the issue that's gonna plague universes beyond is going to be I think real world based sets. I think sets like
yeah,
Spider-Man and superheroes where there isn't enough you don't have a cast of characters in the same way you do in Avatar who are airbending or like not everyone has superpowers and has different superpowers. This like I I just don't think I don't think
yeah.
those sets will work as well.
The superhero set's gonna present an incredible challenge. I think I'm sure they've already solved it in some regard because it's probably ready to be shipped out. Honestly, when you've got as many characters as you can choose from within the Marvel universe, yeah, there's some overlap. The Spider-Men all kind of do the same thing. If you look at Thor, you've got himself, then you have Jane Foster, you have Beta Ray Bill, you have Iron Man and War Machine. Like there's a lot of crossover, and so there's some redundancy across their abilities and whatnot. But at the end of the day, there's a ton of different things that can go on. So I almost wonder what kind of cohesiveness can you possibly have in a set that's got as wide a cast of characters
Yeah.
as superheroes do. Ninja Turtles is a little bit more singular because they all this kind of the same thing. Um, but yeah, I think it really just kind of comes down to, and this is something that Spider Man, Ninja Turtles, Star Trek, even superheroes. They're just the world just doesn't fit within Magic's sort of identity.
Yeah.
I think that will constantly be my number one gripe about Universes Beyond here. Um, and you kind of picked on something really that I think is really, look at the Avatar set. Yes, there are tons and tons and tons of legendaries. There's, I think, seven, maybe I think nine Aang cards. That's okay. There aren't 4,700 Spider-Men.
Yeah.
But what we do have throughout the set are non-legendary creatures that you recognize from, just the world. So, we've got the invasion reinforcements. They're a flash 1/1 that makes another 1/1 token.
Yep.
The Tiger Dillo is here. Earth Kingdom General is here. Knowledge Seeker. It's a Fox Spirit. These things that populate the world of Avatar. Because if you haven't watched the show, I can't think of a more of a modern kids show that has the depth of lore and world building that Avatar does.
Yeah. Also,
I don't think it exists, honestly.
also there are only 4 A's in the main set.
Oh, they're okay, perfect, yeah.
There's 4.
And each one of them is showing a step in his journey as an airbender, and a waterbender.
Yep.
The Crossroads version is showing him he's adopted. He has learned his earthbending, and then finally Avatar Aang at the very end of the series when he has mastered all 4 elements. I really do like that they didn't try to mash in black into his color identity, but still managed to find a design space. Well, yeah, kinda. But black certainly has its design space within the set.
Yes.
Obviously it's the bad guys. That's not a hard line to draw, or but there's also I really wish that they had done it in more of like a lot of the spirit cards, which some of them were black aligned in that case, like the energy bending card that's in here. I wish that had been a black spell instead of, I think it's like a colorless lesson or something like that. But yeah, all the colors of the game seem to really, really mesh very, very well here.
Yeah. I also,
and like I said, there's a.
There you go.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, I was going to say I just have to go back to so many regular non-legendary creatures, even if they've got some kind of an ability, they still exist within the world of Avatar, and it's you recognize them. It's such an important key piece of your world building
Yep.
because you can't have a set full of nothing but legendaries.
Yep.
And I think that's what we're going to see a lot of the problem with, especially Marvel superheroes. I would bet you for a set that's probably going to have less than 200 cards, I'd be willing to bet that there are less than 20 non-legendary creatures in that set.
Yeah. Like
Ten
it's
percent, 10% right there.
yeah. Well, and so something interesting too I noticed because you said there's like 10 Angs, which obviously hyperbolic, but you have the four. Um, Everyone else for Sokka, Katara, and Toph all have 3 cards each, all representing books 1, 2, and 3,
Yeah.
and their progression, right? So you
Did that
have
ever bug you that they didn't do 4 books for
a
all
little bit,
4 elements?
a little bit. That's neither
Total
here nor
aside,
there.
never mind.
Um, so like Aang is the exception because he has water bending, in the first book. So he has his like intro and then the water bending, is all like in like one set, and then
Yeah,
earthbending is the second book, and then firebending is the third book. Uh, so I do like that they have a reason for having these 3 characters. Not only that, Sokka's the exception, um, where he's 2 colors at the start, but everyone else goes 1, 2, 3 colors.
yeah,
So there's like a clear delineation of book 1, book 2, book 3
yeah,
for the characters, and I really and Sokka changes colors. He goes from blue white to blue red to Jeskai. Uh,
yeah,
but everyone else adds colors, so they as they progress more. So like Katara, for example, goes blue, blue white, Bant.
yeah,
Toph goes red, red green white.
yeah,
Um, and so I think there's a lot of that progression is as a story beat in the cards and in the set is even if you don't see Avatar, you can look at that and be, oh, what's going on? Like, why are there 3 cards? And you're like, oh, they're 3 different things. Their progressions, their rarities go up, not up to mythic. I think that would be cool if they went
yeah.
uncommon, rare, mythic. Um, just like as a progression, right? But if we look at
Yeah,
uh Spider-Man,
yeah. There's
type,
there's no there's no like continuity within them, and that's the thing we're hitting on here is like clear, like you said, delineation between this is chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. Even if your set doesn't have like a main story around it, this is still the journey of Aang, the Avatar, that we're basically retelling in a 233 card set. We have to show that progression.
yeah,
So everybody gets a little bit of that build up, whether it's Iroh, whether it's Zuko or Azula. Everybody's cards kind of morph and evolve and show progression. And that I think that right there is a massive failing of Spider-Man as a set because you don't really see that, which I don't even know how you would translate that kind of maturity or maturing that Peter goes through or any of the Spider-Man goes through um, within
cleanly.
a set. I don't know how you
Yeah.
would do that.
Yeah, so just to like some context, Spider-Man, 70% of the main set was legend of the creatures. I'm talking specifically of the creatures. 70% of them were legendary.
That's absurd.
Okay? 70% were legendary creatures.
And the rest were all
113
pigeons.
113 creatures, 79 of them were legends. Okay? If we look at Avatar, now of course the set isn't totally out yet. Um and I'm gonna let me show my
Close enough
Scry.
though, we can
Let
make
me
a pretty good prediction about this.
yeah, I'll show my Scryfall screen. So if we do type creature, we have 152 creatures, and if we do type legendary, 67 divided by 152. So 44% of Avatar's legends, which makes sense. You have the
I think I'm
Appas,
okay with that. Yeah.
you have you have the 4 Aangs, you have the 2 Appas, you have the Azulas, the Boomies, um, several Azulas, 7 Zuko's, some other random like Flopsy or Hiei or Heibi,
Yeah.
Heibai. Grant,
Bosco.
Bosco, Iroh, right? Like there are a lot of characters that are legendary. You have May, um, there's all the different masters, Momo. Like so, there are reasons to have these legends,
Yeah,
um, and thankfully
I would.
the not important ones are uncommon, and the more
Yeah,
main story beats ones are rares or mythics.
yeah.
Um, and you have the sagas, the legendary creature sagas, which is the Legend of Korok, the Legend of Kyoshi, Legend of Roku, Legend of
Probably
Yangchen.
my favorite cards in the whole set. Just full stop. Like
Yeah,
I I love how they have adapted sagas to tell. I mean, they tell stories. Obviously, that's what they do here. But they've managed to adopt the card type to show so many different things. So we see
yeah,
like the legends of the original avatars, so and then Sozin, the original Fire Lord. We saw them with the summons in Final Fantasy. I
yep.
do have to give them some credit in Spider because they did, condense a relatively long comic book arc into 3 steps. Very, very cool. Like I probably what like yeah, but Saga's one of my it is of all the card types right now, they are my favorite just because of
So
the flexibility in them.
I think sagas are an underutilized card type by players, not by like Magic designers. I think players, especially like Commander players, or just like one. I think sagas have a lot of are just good. Like they're
Oh yeah,
permanents on the battlefield, especially ones that make you creatures or do things. It
or that are a creature themselves.
selves or like the reflections of Kikijiki, right? Like there are these just like a busted one, but sagas
Yeah.
are so good, and the saga creatures, like you said, are good. Leaves on the vine, leaves from the vine, um,
Oh okay. Oh man.
leaves from the vine. That saga, I'm like, oh my heart. But
Yeah.
you just have these sagas that, like you said, just tell stories so well. Like these
Yeah.
are of camera of like recent card types that Wizards has released, and I say recent, I mean within the past like 5 to 10 years. Why is my camera frame rate tanking? Um, as of like for cards that have been released in the past like 5 or 10 years, oh my god, these have far and away been like a home run.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. The yeah, there hasn't been I reflections aside, which that's a standard problem. I think it's a perfectly reasonably powerful card. That they're the design space of sagas and what Wizards has shown that they're willing to do to make them not only be flexible but just have so many ways to iterate upon them. Now that we've seen that card creatures can turn into sagas and sagas can turn into creatures, and it's wait, creatures don't turn into sagas
Mm-mm.
naturally?
Nope.
Sagas turn into creatures. Okay, that's coming soon, I'm sure. The creature
Sure.
that turns into a saga.
Yeah, I'm absolutely sure that's going to be a
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Why's my camera frame rate tanking? What's happening? Sorry, it's
yeah.
bugging me.
So we kind of have alluded to them. Do we want to talk about? So it's not the showcase. It's not the. There's a million different frames for these cards, but this is the Eternal, the TLE. It's the reprint set, right?
It's
I want to
reset
talk
and
about.
jumpstart, so it's both. Because there's like,
Oh yeah,
um, yeah, I think it's also the jumpstart set. They have the same code for whatever reason.
yeah, but yeah, I really want to talk about
I'll pull these cards up real
the
quick.
yeah. So these are all reprints
Yep.
from Infinite Magic Past. And like they did with the Final Fantasy set, they chose to do basically screen grabs, and these are low resolution screen grabs from episodes of the TV show.
Yep.
I hate these cards. Like,
Yeah.
I like the reprints. Reprints are fine, but the fact that they're just choosing to use these low res, low effort screen grabs and then to slap just the words of magic cards on them, just it just does not jive with me. It just
Yeah.
does not look good.
Yeah,
Why can't they have any semblance of a frame around them or any kind of design other than just words on an image? They're just so ugly.
yeah, like they in person, like even like you saw some of the Spider-Man ones in person at MagicCon, they looked better than they looked online.
Yeah,
Some of
but
them,
those are static images though. Like, the comic
yeah,
book
it's comic
covers and
book,
whatnot they
sure.
used.
Yeah,
Yeah.
these are. I think this is the biggest issue I'm gonna have with Universes Beyond. Well, for home run sets like this, where you're looking at the set and you're like, oh, this is such a good set, and then you're looking at like, and it's Mystic Remora. You're like, oh, what a cool reprint, and I'm like, oh, that
Yeah.
art's good. I'm like, but why they have to do a screen cap for it? Like, why
Yeah.
couldn't there be a Mystical Archive border? Like the secret layer
Yeah.
border they're using, I'm like, why couldn't these be in that border?
Mm-hmm.
Why couldn't these be redrawn? Like, I don't care if they're stills, because I think it's a still from like every episode or something.
I
Like,
believe so, because there's a well over 100 of these, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm showing 56, but they're probably more that I'm not.
Ah, yeah.
How many episodes of Avatar are there? How many episodes of Avatar?
Oh God, at least 80
61.
something. 61. There you go.
So yeah, we probably end up having all the episodes on here.
Yeah.
But it's like you couldn't redraw them. Like the SpongeBob cards have screen caps from the show that are redrawn, so they don't
Yeah.
look like someone took a VHS that they were playing on their computer and did like a screen cap. VHS, if you don't know,
VA
are
kids.
tapes. um, like the bribery art is so funny. Like I love the bribe. Have you seen the bribery?
Yeah, I'm looking at it all right now, and
Like
it's not like they chose bad art for the cards. Most of them work pretty damn well.
yeah, it's just the laziness of like here's let's just slap these puppies on here. And you also only get the professor said you only get like one of these per box on average.
Yeah, which
Uh,
is wild.
and I think it sucks at your like level of like variance on these can be from like force of negation. Um what else do we like in here? Force of negation or like clone.
Scout's warning.
Yeah,
That like
blasphemous act, noxious gear hulk. You're like
yeah.
searing blood. You're like, "Oh, well that sucks." Um
Yeah,
like
but some of these reprints are actually kind of crazy. I mean, Azula Flame of Ember Island is Dao Chan Artful Beauty. Do you know the last time that Dao Chan printed? Don't cheat.
I'm not going to cheat. Doubt is that like a Kamigawa card?
No, it sounds like one, but it's not. Good guess.
Portals? 3 PK?
Portal Three Kingdoms. That it is one of the oldest cards. I think it is actually the oldest reprint in this entire set. So to
Uh
reprint that of all things is crazy here.
what's the card called?
And
I'm
Dao Chan Artful Beauty. It is a
artful.
1/1 human advisor for 3 and a red. You can tap it to destroy target creature of your choice, and then destroy target creature of an opponent's choice. And you may
Actually,
only activate during your turn.
actually, this was reprinted in Commander's Arsenal. Um,
Oh, I don't care. Stop that.
uh, I'll have you know.
It's still plenty old.
Yeah.
Actually.
So that's God, my camera. Come on. I know you want to focus. There we go. Um, I mean, you have like the Great Henge, which is like a great reprint.
Yeah.
I hate how some of these are not renamed. Like you have just Elemental Bond, and then you have the Banyan
Yeah.
tree, and you're like, mother, can you just like you have Earth Rumble Triumph, which is Return of the Wild Speaker, but you couldn't
Yeah.
rename Elemental Bond. Like,
Yeah.
and I get Elemental, it's like Avatar bending the elements, so it's like fine, I'll allow it.
Yeah. But some of them work pretty well though. Like I'm not I can't Mystic Remora is about the most spot on reprint we could have asked for here. It's literally the Moonfish.
I
It,
have
it
I know I
It's a
do
little
have
too spot on.
I have a so you're seeing the Mirror Wing Dragon reprint, right?
Mirrorwing Dragon. Where's Mirrorwing Dragon? Oh, there it is. Yeah,
Can you pull up
brilliant.
can you pull up the card Ran and Shaw for me, Alex?
Yes, I can because it's the same exact creatures with
Can you,
the
can
characters, I should say.
can you do me a favor and just take a look at that art for me there, bud? And just tell me what
It's
you
the same
see.
art.
It's
It's
almost
the
the same
same
art.
art.
It's pretty much the same art. Um it's like the frame after or before in the show.
Yeah, and it's not the only one that does that, if I'm not mistaken.
Cityscape
Uh,
Leveler and the Salt Shaker of Doom, as I'm calling it, the vehicle, is like
yep, that's the
the
one I'm thinking
Monstrous
of.
Serpent and Coma, same thing.
Yep.
Like they're they're I do like the Valakut reprint. Valakut as Volcano of Roku's Island is funny.
Yeah,
Um,
that's pretty dope.
I have a feeling what looking at this what this is, I would bet a non-zero amount of money that for like legendary creatures or like so for like the Great Henge, especially for like legendary creatures, they had to use avatar names. They couldn't put Valakut as the main card on an ad like or the Wild
Oh,
Speaker. If references Garruk Wild Speaker,
yeah. Okay.
I have a feeling that's probably what it is. Noxious Gear Hulk is a little surprising. Blood Chief Ascension, same thing. Like I don't know, um, because other cards are fine, but then some aren't. So
Yeah.
I have a feeling like Teferi's Protection, they didn't want Teferi's Protection label. Like I have a feeling that that's
Yeah.
why some of the cards versus like brought back or Empty City Ruse or
Got an
Dranith
actual
Magistrate.
rename.
Yeah. Like Dranith
Now,
Magistrate is a weird one because the Mayor Tong of Chin Village is like sounds like a legendary creature.
oh
It's
yeah,
like
yeah,
a mayor. You're like, there's seven of
yeah.
them.
Well, I mean, like the mayor of Averbrook. It's the same issue there. He's
Sure.
not legendary either. But the mayor of Averbrook could also be me or you
Yeah.
or my wife or hell, my dog could be the mayor of Averbrook.
I think some of my favorites are Clone,
The
which is
clone
just
is brilliant.
the clone. I'm like, okay, fine. Joe D, Public Servant, is
Mm-hmm.
Sakashima of A Thousand Faces, the partner commander, which I think is
Yep. Zero
hysterical.
notes there.
Mystic
Yep.
Remor is great. Intruder Alarm, I wish it was more high res, but like that's funny. Bribery is funny. Clone Legion
Agent of
is
Treachery. Oh yeah, Clone Legion as well. Yeah.
yeah. Like a lot of these are I just wish there was just like good. I just wish like the different frame or just just a little more. Like I don't need
Yeah.
a lot more, just a smidge.
Yeah. Now I'm sure that you're dancing around bringing it up, and I'm dancing around bringing it up, but I'm going to do it right. What are your thoughts on Dockside Extortionist being put in this set?
Oh, I don't know. That's I think what happened is I think this set was locked in before those bans. I That is what I think happened
I buy that. Yeah.
because the Dockside ban that was last year. Oh no, we lost him again. Oh god, not again. Not while I'm recording. I'm back.
Opening a banned card.
Oh, you're back. Oh my
Am I
god, you
back?
cut out. Yeah, I was really nervous for like 30
Okay.
seconds. Um,
Thank
because
you.
yeah, what Dockside ban? Dockside was banned in September of 24. So there,
Yeah.
I would put $1,000 on the line that this was locked
Yeah.
already, and that's why
Yeah.
Dockside's in the set because they were
Yeah.
not
But this
expecting.
this will be the feel bad. Yeah. If you open
Yeah,
this from your box, it's going to be like opening Splinter Twin out of your Modern Horizon 2017 pack.
or
And you
Tree
just
of
look at that and
Redemption,
go,
or no, Tree of Perdition. Tree of Perdition from
that wasn't banned.
no, but it was just awful mythic. Um, yeah, it's I do love how this Dockside has like the for those of you who don't know, here's some like magic lore for you youngins. The original art for Birds of Paradise was supposed to be for Tropical Island. And they were like,
Oh,
why
we're
is
going
this
this way.
bird
Okay.
here? And now we have Dockside Extortionist, which you could also see as Birds of Paradise.
I would much rather put it that way, honestly. I can't imagine it would have been too difficult to change the name of the card on here, but yeah, it's too funny. Genuinely too funny.
I think my least favorite of these, not for like low res reasons. Well, Imprisoned in the Moon. I really wish it wasn't them kissing. Um, I like there you could there's like there were better options I think for that. That is funny though. I'm glad they did it.
You can't have
Um,
kissing in your Magic game. Is that what you're telling me?
I just don't want a close up of two 13-year-olds smooching. Okay, listen. Whatever, no judgment for me, Alex. Okay, whatever you're into, bud. But for me, that's
No.
Listen. I think Zuko's Reese the Redeemed is like I think the weirdest thing for me.
Yeah, the ones that are very much red cards, and then like Zuko's also Heroic Intervention. We mentioned Risk the Redeemed. Treetop Village is a land that turns into a green ape, but it is for some reason depicted as a prison inside a volcano. I don't understand that.
Is that a prison inside a volcano? I thought that was that was the forest, um, where like Jet lived in book 2.
Oh no, the coloring is what threw it off.
The
Yes,
coloring,
okay, never
yeah,
mind. That is not the volcano prison.
not the volcano
Wow,
prison.
I just got checked hard.
You did. Sunbaked Canyon, I like. I think the
Yeah.
monstered serpent as coma is like funny. Like that's just I'm like,
Oh, it's
um,
I would be willing to bet that somebody out there made that altar way back when Coma was first printed, and then Wizards just had to run with it.
yeah,
They couldn't acknowledge that somebody beat them to that very, very good idea.
yeah. I think so. Do you watch Loading Ready Run at all?
I do, yes.
Did you hear about the secret tunnel meme that happened? So
Can we sing the song?
no, yes, but no. So the card Escape Tunnel for Murders at Karlov Manor, Graham submitted Secret Tunnel as the name, and it was approved. And then they changed
Oh
it, and they didn't tell
no!
him. So when he printed it, he was like, "This is not what I called it." So he was like, "I bet they're doing an Avatar set to himself." Because that was the only reason they could not use the name is because there's going to be a secret tunnel in this, but someone approved it at Wizards.
Oh, I haven't
mind.
seen that then yet.
It was in their last.
Amazing.
I think they're one of their Loading Ready Run episodes, like the Monday podcast they do.
Love that. Yeah.
I
had no idea. That's amazing.
Yeah, so funny. Also,
the simple fact that Secret Tunnel has this land can't be blocked on it when in it itself cannot turn into a creature type is absolutely hysterical to me. And if you look at that card without any context, you just wonder what on earth is this, random AI generated magic card. But then it all makes sense. But just, it's wonderfully designed in that regard. I can to not put some kind of creature ability on there in some fashion.
Yep. What? I need to hold on. Porker. Cats. I'm looking up this Peter Parker, the Peter Porker, because Avatar's weird and has like all the animals are hybrids except for Bosco, which is just bear. And in the episode, they're like, it's just a bear, not a bear platypus. It's just a bear. Like one of the cards,
and like he's the best card in the set.
Yeah, his the Earth King's crazy. But you have a card, the Curious Farm Animals. It's a 1-mana 1/1 for elk, bird, ox. You're like, oh. Also, can we talk about that card real quick? It's a stupid common that is like so good. It dies, you gain 3 life, and then you can sack it to destroy an artifact or enchantment.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's just like good. I don't know if it'll be like playable and constructed, but I can see like it kills Cauldron if you're on the play, and so they go Cauldron 2 and you play this and sack it turn 3. Get rid of their Cauldron, gain a life or gain 3 life.
Oh yeah.
And you can Skull Clamp the hell out of it.
From a limited perspective, We have the Diligent Zookeeper, the 3 and a
Yeah.
green rare human citizen ally that gives each non-human creature you control gets +1/+1 for each of its creature types up to a maximum of 10. So when you do have the lemur bat ally Momo, it gets so many bonuses there. The cat
Yeah.
armadillo, it's little things like that again, it goes back to the care that was put into this set, and they're acknowledging just how wacky the animals are in this whole universe.
Yeah. Like Momo being first off, the Momo uncommon is arguably one of the best like uncommon one drops in recent time.
The playful pet.
Yeah, 1 mana 1/1 flying vigilance. When it leaves, make a food, put a counter on a thing, or scry 2.
Yeah, well, you choose one. Yeah,
Yeah,
make
you
a
choose
food,
one, pick one of those.
counter, or scry 2. Yeah, like the
Um,
ultimate airbending target.
yeah, and you're like, oh, but I don't want to pay 2 to recast my 1 drop. Yeah, but you get so much benefit when it leaves.
Yeah.
Also, you can skull clamp it. I should make a skull clamp tier list of like the best things to skull clamp, and it's just all the cute things at the top. Um,
Right next to all the cards that work well as Soul Cauldron.
True. Um, but then there are like some like cool like good mythics. We have like, United Front, X white white sorcery, make X 1/1s, and then put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. So
Yeah.
it's you have to go pretty deep for the rate to be, I think, worth it. Um, I think you're happy casting this for like I think for 2 even because you get two twos
Oh
with
yeah.
nothing, so you have 4. 3 you get 9 power for 5 mana.
Yeah.
Like it scales nicely. Um,
Mm-hmm.
there's one card. It's a 5 mana. It's a sorcery. 5 mana sorcery. Create a 1/1 ally for each planes you control and scry 2.
Yeah, very solid card. Yeah, definitely not limited, but
Yeah,
mono
I don't
white
know.
decks and like aggro decks, sure.
I don't know how good that is in limited, but I can see that being a good finisher in if you're playing like blue white control and you're like pretty planes heavy, especially with the shocks coming back.
Oh
Like
yeah, yeah.
and multiverse passage.
Multiversal passage.
So
Yeah.
yeah, like there are a lot of like you can get a lot of planes, so I really like that. Um, there's some other really the secrets of bloodbending is wild.
Yeah. The oh, what's wow? It's not a time walk. It's better than that. It's
It's you
controlling your opponent's
Emrakul them,
turn.
and yeah, you Emrakul them, and they don't get another turn.
There's a good way to describe it. Yeah, yeah,
You tentacle mommy them, but
yeah,
instead of tentacles, you take their blood and use it.
yeah. So it's 4 blue, source for the mythic rare. As an additional cost to cast the spell, you may water bend 10. So that means that you're tapping 10 power worth of other creatures you control. So that's kind of water bending's whole thing. As a group, you can water bend bigger things.
And artifacts.
And artifacts, yes. You control target opponent during their next combat phase. If you pay the additional cost, the water bending, you control their next turn instead, and then you
Yeah.
exile water bending because you can't have any fun. But yeah,
Like
it's insane.
this because it reduces it based on you have to have 10 creatures, right? So it's not like mana value, right? It's like however many you have. But I mean there's also like a lot of clue generation in the set, and it's also the first time aside from like one card that they say make clues and not investigate.
Yeah, because
Um
there are no detectives in Avatar apparently.
yeah. Like the investigate has always been tied to clues, but now it's not, which I think is actually good. Um
Yeah.
I think that you don't want a keyword like that tied to a token type because I think it makes like templating awkward. Like Academy
Takes some
Manufacturer
space on the
says make a
card. Yeah.
clue. And then there's just more like game knowledge you need to know if you're starting out to like understand like what does investigate do instead of like make a clue, right? But there's the Mechanist Aerial Artisan, 3 mana 1/3. Whenever you cast it on creature spell, make a clue.
Yep.
You're like, oh, that's so good. Like you had the Gadgeteer, Forensic Gadgeteer from MKM. Whenever you cast an artifact, investigate. Now you have this. It's legendary, but it also turns your clue tokens or your artifact tokens into 3/1s, which, if we're
Yep.
going back to Edge of Eternities, you can use to station,
Yep.
which is great. Um, I think this waterbending with the warp thing from Edge of Eternities, that whenever you cast an artifact, make a 1/1 flying
Oh,
beep boop.
the blue red artifact. Yeah, warps for 0. Yeah.
Yeah, that with like waterbending is going to be wild. Like if you're able to like pump out enough of those and then you start using them to waterbend.
Okay, I'm following. I'm following.
Um,
Wow, that's cool. Okay, yeah, I'm with you there. Yeah.
so I think there's just stuff. There's just so much play with this set. Like I love when you have these simple mechanics, like firebending and like the firebending is. I think firebending is like the most complicated of them because of the timing of when you get the mana. Um,
Yeah.
and it only lasts till end of combat because normally in between like
Yeah.
attackers, blockers, and damage, you would lose that mana. So I'm glad it's to
Yep.
the end of combat, but it's like it also does teach players about using mana during combat and like how do you use onboard tricks to your advantage and attacking
Yep.
and doing attacks before you cast spells, right? Like I think this will teach a lot of players to do that if you're not in the habit of doing that already in limited. Um,
Yeah. I mean, it's basically combat trick mana, which is
yeah,
nice, and it's on board, which I like.
yeah,
Obviously, untapped mana can represent any number of going into combat phase or any point in your turn, but for the card to explicitly say there's mana, watch out.
yeah,
It makes itself a little bit more apparent, more pronounced in the flow of the game.
yeah. And I also like that some of the like the outlets for firebending in the main set aren't um like I don't want to say obvious. I don't feel like a lot of them are like easy outs where they're like, oh yeah, we're just gonna do this as a mana sink. Like there's one that has it's
Yeah.
exhaust and you put a counter. It's like exhaust 3 generic. Put a counter on this creature. When you next cast a
Mhm.
lesson spell, copy it. And you may choose new targets. So it's like okay,
Yep.
cool. It's like a firebend. There's one that you pay 1 and 2 red to put a counter on this creature, and that's pretty good. It has firebending 1,
Yep.
so like you need other things. But a lot of like the firebending things are exhaust. There's the common that just
Yep.
has fire breathing, which is 2 generic. Well, it's actually better than fire. It's 2 generic. This creature gets +1/+0. Um, notably, you
Oh
can
yeah,
use
the it's not the fire stages, it's
Fire Nation
the Fire
cadets.
Nation cadets. Yeah, yeah.
Um, also, I just realized this as I'm reading cards. Your firebending mana can crack clues.
Yeah.
So you have that. You have the instant speed lesson that you can flash back for 6 in a red. So you can firebend. You can use the 6 red. You can, if you have enough red mana, you can then flash back that, or some combination. There's just like so much play with these mechanics. I think
Oh yeah.
water bending is the worst in terms of like its convoke. Um,
Yeah, that's a really good way to put it.
I think waterbending is like the when I say worst, I don't mean like not fun. I don't mean like bad. I just mean like least flavorful maybe. Um,
See, I disagree. I quite like the flavor of waterbending because the more waterbenders you have, the bigger a thing you can bend. Like the blood bending is a really good example.
sure.
I'm looking at Geyser Leaper here, which is 4 and a blue human warrior ally at common, 4/3 flyer, and it has water bend 4, draw a card, discard a card. And so you can just do that whenever you want. And so kind of the cost of drawing a card, it's pretty high. But to say that I have all of my friends here to help me do this, that kind of correlates to the power of the ability here. It can't be a cheap thing, especially on a con. But to say that I've got all my friends to help me draw and discard cards, that kind of speaks to the flavor of the mechanic itself. I
Sure.
think.
Um, And I like that like their spiritual spirit water revival is um it's divination, kind of. But if you waterbend 6, you get to wheel. Not even wheel. You get to
Yeah.
time twister yourself.
Yeah.
Um which is great.
In for that. In for that. Yeah.
Also the shrines are back. We have more shrines now.
Love the shrines. Yep.
Um and they are like really good. Um all of these shrines are when they enter and another shrine enters to trigger instead of like
Yep.
on upkeep. Because I think the other shrines, if we go to release date, the
The ones from yeah, the
Kamigawa
5
were
people out
end
there who
step.
really love shrines are going to be really happy about.
Yeah, like I mean, if you love Go Shintai,
Yeah.
so the Neon Dynasty shrines were at the beginning of your end step, and you had to
Yep.
pay 1 mana to do the thing.
Hmm.
The M21 shrines were at the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, except for the red one, which just sucked,
Yep.
and the white one, which also just sucked if you didn't have 5
Yep.
shrines out. And
Yep.
then the other ones are the Hodens are beginning of your upkeep.
Yep.
Also, the Neon Dynasty ones were creatures, which also kind of sucked.
Yeah.
Just a little bit more. But these are when they enter and when another shrine enters. So it feels like they're slowly
Yeah.
power creeping shrines. But I mean, they are right. Like we're talking about.
It's just a sentence you never think you'd have to
Yeah,
say.
I know.
God, I wish my shrines were power crept more in this game.
There are 22 shrines, so if you don't include Go Shintai, you have 21 shrines now.
I was about to say for the 6 people out there who have their Go Shintai commander decks and are really looking for more playable.
Yeah, these aren't great. I don't know how good these
Just
are
I
in
salute you
limited.
all.
Listen, they got to do something, all right? Go Shintai's a cool card. I love the art.
Oh, Go Shintai, great, yeah.
But like the Northern Air Temple Shrine, it's a is it the it is the first good 1 mana shrine. The white one from Neon Dynasty is 1 mana, but it's not good. When it enters, each opponent loses X life, and you gain X life for X number of shrines you control, and then it drains whenever another shrine you control enters, which is just like
That's garbage. Because I have to build the shrine deck. Like by itself, a single ping is not worth it. But like the blue one, the Spirit Oasis, draws when it enters the battlefield. At least that's it. 300 replace itself. And then
sure.
if I happen to have any other shrines, I'm going to do something with them. I just don't know that I'm going to be going on a way to draft the shrine deck.
I will try it once for content. um, for content, I mean, I'll just do it. I'll just be like, let's see if we can make it happen. You're probably
Yeah.
you're realistically base green if you do it, because
Yeah, because
the green shine
there's the
ramps you.
one lesson. Yeah, and then we do have the green lesson, Shared Roots, which lets you search your library for land, put on the battlefield, tap, and shuffle. That's just good. That's just good mana building right there. That's just
Yeah.
a good card.
Um. Yeah, and I think like if you could airbend these shrines more, that'd be cool. Like, there's only they. I think you hold on. I think you can airbend them because I think some airbending is non-land permanence. Um.
I would.
Avatar. Yeah, Avatar Angelus Airbender, the 4 mana one. You can airbend the shrines. Airbend target non-land permanent with airbending lesson. So you can airbend the shrines.
That's so weird. Like you could.
Um.
So,
Some specified
okay, hold on. I have to
creatures.
look at Airbender lesson. So it's actually different. Airbend target not. Oh, that's so weird.
Yeah, airbend
Why would
itself.
you have it do different
Airbend
things?
itself uh is a ability, but it doesn't have the inherent property of only targeting creatures. That's why Swift
That's
Savior
true. Yeah.
exists, right? Because you can airbend spells. Um, so you can
Okay.
air
Yeah.
so you can build a shrine deck where you're airbending your shrines. Um, if you're like in 3 color or 2 color, like I, constantly getting like the red one, if you're able to airbend the red one and just keep pumping out 1/1s with I think prowess.
Yeah. If there was just a card
Yeah,
that I mean, and obviously it's Airbender Ascension, if you could just constantly, every upkeep, airbend, like that's something, but that's such a massive amount to get through.
Yeah, you
I
have to like you.
I don't know about that.
I think you have to build the shrine deck. I think you have to like lean into it. I mean, there is
Oh yeah,
the
lean hard.
I mean, there is the um. Okay, so you have Aang's Journey, which is the colorless sorcery that you can kick to search for a shrine and a land.
Yep.
You
Energy
have
bending lets you have all the mana you need.
for a turn, yeah.
All the colors, I should say. Yeah, all the
Um,
colors that you.
there is a uncommon land that is untapped that fixes for lessons and shrines.
Oh yeah, White Lotus
White Lotus
Hideout.
Hideout,
Okay, yep. I'm looking.
and then
I was looking at
Guru
that. Yeah.
Pothic. ETB, look at the top 5 cards, may reveal a lesson, shrine, or saga. Whenever you cast a lesson, shrine, or saga, put a +1/+1 counter on another target creature you control. So I think if you end up going shrines, I think you end up basically blue-green, and then you just, if you can find the other colored shrines, you just snag them. And you probably put like
I would go with that.
you put like one
One
basic
off color shrine. Yeah.
yeah. If you get all of them, you just put like one mountain, one island, one plains, one swamp, and then your blue green base, and you have enough green fixing to like just search for your basic, your one of colors.
Chat, try this for us so we don't have to.
I'll try it. I don't give a crap. I mean, you have the mana fixing. I think there are a set of common lands.
There's a set of 10 dual lands, which
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go on record at this point and just say that every couple of sets needs to have this to create a compelling limited format.
Yeah.
Not to mention that it's naming places within the world as well, and I think that's also really important to help flesh out the actual the whole world itself. I mean, obviously we have rare lands to go along with that, but to really flesh out the universe, these dual lands are pretty important here.
Yeah.
And they draw cards. They're amazing.
Yeah, you stack them to draw cards. Actually, there's 11 duels. One of them is a scry land with vigilance. It's a land with vigilance, which is funny. The Rumble Arena.
Oh, that's not a dual land though.
I mean, it fixes. It's an uncommon land. It's a common land. Any uncommon lands?
Yeah, it's reflecting pool with not reflecting pool, but shimmering grotto with
vigilance.
A weird with ability on it with vigilance. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize.
No, it's a power creep shimmering grotto. Lord, first the shrines, now shimmering grotto. What's going on with magic?
Shimmering
power creep is everywhere.
Oh yeah, shimmering. That has already existed. It was
yeah.
Power Creep Grotto already existed with Hidden Grotto and Crystal Grotto. Hidden Grotto was from Bloomburrow, and it ETB Surveil 1, Shimmering Grotto text. Crystal Grotto was from Wilds of Eldraine, Scry 1, Shimmering Grotto text. And then we have this, which is now a strictly better because it has vigilance. And
I forgot we had him in Hidden Grotto.
Yeah, you need to check yourself, all right? As a Pauper Tron player, okay? So I think we're like an hour and 13 in. So I think it's a good time to like wrap it up so we don't go for our usual like 4 hours. So I guess just like what are your overall thoughts on the set? Like how grade it like A to F sets being Final Fantasy, cons of I don't know if you like cons of Tarkir actually, but like sets like Final Fantasy, which I would strongly consider like an A, and an F.
Yeah, Final Fantasy is S tier design for me.
Dragon Gate.
Dragon's Maze.
Dragon's Maze. I see that sucks. Who cares? I've been so much of that dog crap set.
Dragon's Maze was an absolute dog water of a set. Cons of Tarkir, I know, has people like up in arms about how cool that set was. I hated that set for the limited formats. Avatar, though, I'm trying to remove myself from the fact that I'm a big old Avatar fan. I freaking love Avatar. It is still like S tier design for me. I can tell you, even if I knew nothing about the world, and I think that is a critical piece of design when it comes to Universes
Yeah.
Beyond. If I can look at the set, and I'm not worrying about its magic adjacentness at this point. If I can look at the set, understand something about the world, something about the lore and the universe and the characters with no knowledge about that, that's already good. Like every other Magic set that isn't Universes Beyond does that pretty darn well. I have the Spider-Man set. Why are there 43 Spider-Men?
Yeah.
Who are all of them? It's such a confusing jumble, but Avatar is an incredibly cohesive set. It's well thought out. I mean, I said it originally. You can tell that the people who designed this set really care about the material, and it shows. They
Yeah.
checked, like, they clearly had a big old vision board. They said, okay, every box we need to check. We need to have these characters, these locations, these items, these animals, these equipment, whatever all. And they checked every box. I don't think, going through the set now, I don't think there's anything Avatar related that's missing.
Yeah. It looks it the set
100% complete.
yeah. It there was enough in the universe for them to do a full set, and I think that was like a worry you had. I remember you had early on, not to call you out, but like when we were talking about Avatar as like being the set, I know you were a little worried about like, is there enough things to fill out an Avatar set with
Yeah.
61
I was very worried
episodes,
about this.
right? Like
Yeah.
that's not a lot. Like when you're 61 with a 20-minute runtime, it's divided by like you have. I mean, it's I guess it's 51 days worth of like that seems wrong. That's right.
That
Hold
seems
on.
really wrong.
That's
That's
wrong.
like a day.
I'm sorry. 21. It's I'm an idiot. Math is hard. 61 episodes times it's 20 minutes divided by 60 divided yes. So it's 20 hours. Is that it?
Yeah, you could binge watch all of Avatar in 20 hours. That sounds like a great day to me.
Yeah. So you have a 61 episode show and you're able to make this set and you have fill cards, you have like random creatures, but that's part of the world
But that's okay. You
and that's
need
good.
those.
Yeah, like that's not a
Yeah.
bad thing.
Yeah.
It's a little confusing to me or upsetting, not upsetting. I care more about Magic than Spider-Man, but that they couldn't I think it's because they had to change the size of the set last minute. Um you have a when did when did Spider-Man come out originally?
Yesterday, approximately.
Spider-Man issue number 1 was Amazing
Oh,
Fantasy number 15, 1962.
I thought you were about the set, but the
No, 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 no.
comic book,
I
yeah.
meant the comic book. So you have
Yeah.
21 hours plus whatever supplemental stuff of Avatar, and you have math is hard. 60 years of Spider-Man, and that was like the best we got. Like
Yeah.
that, I think that is the that's my issue with it. Right? Like, and I don't know if there's enough world building stuff like that in Spider-Man to include in a set, enough like fluff cards that weren't a random pigeon or a bagel. Like it's not that those cards it's I don't have issues with those card like designs or the art. It's just like if Spider-Man every day fed a pigeon a bagel and that was like a recurring shtick and you're like, "Oh, that's what he does. He like gets a bagel every morning and he gives it to this fat fucking pigeon." I would be all for it. I'd be like, "Sick. There's lore behind it. There's this the fat New York City pigeon is getting a bagel, and that's part of the lore of Spider-Man, but we don't have that." Like, am I wrong?
Yeah, like I think, and what we're describing here is there's filler, the random, the random weirdo animals in Avatar that are part of the world that makes sense because they help, you know, build your understanding of the world. But then there's the pigeon. That's filler for filler's sake.
Yeah.
And yeah, and you made a really cogent point there. 60 plus years of comic lore versus 20 hours of television, and you couldn't do a full set.
Yeah.
There is a, and this is not the podcast for it. There are better minds when it comes to comic book discussion out there that I've been following recently that really dive into the problem with Spider-Man as a character. Um, and what it basically boils down to is that he has to be so widely known and everybody has to kind of latch onto him. He cannot be specific. He has
Yeah.
to be utterly generic. While Avatar, rather specific. These characters have very well defined arcs. You know who they are, where they come from. Peter doesn't really have that.
Yeah.
And that's why I think we've seen the iterations of Miguel O'Hara, all of the Spider-Verse characters. I think that is a consequence of that.
Yeah.
Again, this is not the show for that. We can say that can be maybe after hours, but yeah, problematic Spider-Man creates problematic magic sets.
Yeah.
Avatar makes great magic sets, apparently.
Yeah. I think something else is, and maybe it's not true for comics, but you know comics more than I do, but it's just the vibe that I'm getting. Comics follow a character, follow Spider-Man, follow Batman. Avatar didn't just follow the gang. It did follow the gang, but it also built this world that we got to see. And I think when you're in New York City, there's not much room for small pieces of world, maybe not as quite as when you have like a fantasy world where you're like,
yeah.
You go to New York, you're like, okay, yeah, this is New York. You're like, there you can build characters, but you don't have to build pigeons. You don't have to, like, what do we do? Like, what animals fill this world? And it's New York. It's fucking rats and pigeons. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I don't know. Go to New York. And you don't have like, oh, it's Spider-Man. Like, oh, there's spiders everywhere. Like these weird mutant. Like, you just don't have that in real world settings that you have to do an Avatar, where even if it's just like a random like creature here and there, you're like, oh, it's a platypus bear. And you're like, what the fuck? Cool.
It's a really interesting thing to kind of think about, because again, this is not the show for, but from a high level, when comics were first introduced, up until I would go as far as saying the mid 80s, any book that you picked up, any character that it was, if you picked up that book, the issue had to accomplish a couple different things. Continue the story, the overarching arc, but also act as if the person reading the book, this was their first exposure to the character ever.
Yeah,
like
sure.
It had to do both of those things. Modern comics, not so much, because now it's a bunch of ADHD adults who are reading these things, who are willing to buy 50 issues of one story just to complete the whole thing. And if you miss one issue, the whole thing falls apart. Compared to a cartoon, exactly. I can't hold up my boxes over here, but it's the same thing. Compared to a cartoon, which gives you 20 minutes to, move a story along, show multiple characters. You can bounce around the world a little bit. With the comic book, you gotta be like, if I pick up a Spider-Man book, I expect Spider-Man to be front and center in it.
Yeah.
If I pick up an Avatar book, I don't want to follow, I don't want to say the Cabbage Man, because that would be a really sick, couple of chapters there. But I need to follow characters that I.
Yeah.
It's just,
they're different.
I'm going back to it. It's 60 years of just the one guy. The Spider-Verse stuff is relatively new relative to the longevity of comics.
Sure.
That there just isn't a whole lot of spider stuff to fill out a whole spider set.
Yeah.
Because it's
And
always the same villains, it's always the same characters. There ain't nothing doing this for Spider-Man.
yeah,
That's
you know, like you know what superhero said, I think, and then we'll wrap up the podcast here. And if you catch us live, you can stay for the after hours where we probably do more yapping like this for just like a little bit.
yeah.
I think a superhero show or comic that I think would actually do a pretty good job of in a Magic set would be like Invincible, which is like might be a weird thing to say, but I feel like you have Alien, like you have more things to like fill out cards. And I was just thinking because I really enjoyed the show. I don't know enough about the comics.
I have to disagree with this one because it's a little too small. I think that's the only problem. Yeah, there's over 100 issues of the Invincible just involved. I don't know you could flesh out an entire set.
That's fair.
Maybe.
Do you wish these Marvel sets were like commander decks, like a Spider-Man commander deck, a Hulk commander deck, a like an X-Men?
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah,
I think if they narrowed it down and had it as commander decks, like the 40K decks, I
yeah.
think there's enough. 'Cause you're not even filling out 100 cards, right? You're realistically filling out
Only
62.
60. Yeah,
60 if you take out Soul Ring and Arcane Signet.
yeah. And then you have a
Like,
bunch of reprinted lands. Yeah, you're
yeah,
50 cards. It can't be that difficult to come up with 50 good Spider-Man cards.
yeah,
You know, the
that,
Spider-Verse, like
yeah,
the Hulk, the X-Men.
yeah. Like,
Universes
I
Beyond
think,
should be commander decks.
but it sucks because, right? Because, like, I agree with you, but then also, like, we get to, like, Avatar and Final Fantasy, where you're like, okay, hold on, this UB shit's actually sick. It's just, it's when they do it bad. I think I think it's
Yeah.
very license dependent because
Yeah.
TMNT is going to have the same issue. Star Trek, I know the professor and you were both not into that being a thing.
I still hate it.
I think Star Trek, I think that's going to be one of the ones where it's like people who like Star Trek are not going to like the set, and people like me who don't know anything about Star Trek are going to be like, this is cool. I have a feeling that's what's
No,
going to
you're
happen.
still gonna hate it because it's not gonna make any sense.
Probably.
Captain Picard is not going to attack. He finds a diplomatic solution. Like
He said
Spock wants to study
his card
stuff.
says he can't attack.
Science officer.
Problem solved. Um, we fixed it. He is defender. Um, done. Next set, easy. Wizards hire me. Um, anyways,
Wesley Crusher is a coward creature type. Okay, I'm
I'm
starting to see the
worried.
vision.
Um, but yeah, I think that'll wrap up the Magic Boomer podcast. That was, yeah, Avatar's looking great. I wish pre-release wasn't $100 at my LGS. Not gonna call it out. I'm just really
I think that's a supply and demand kind of thing there. You know, the fact that these licenses are causing sets to be more expensive is another reason why this should be kept to Commander. Let
yeah.
Magic products be as expensive as they are because it's just Magic IP. You know, Ravnica is not as expensive an IP to push as Spider-Man is. That's just that simple.
Unless he has how much are Spider-Man boxes now? While I look that up, give your shout outs while I look up Spider-Man play boosters.
Yeah, so you can find me over on Blue Sky and nowhere else. Alex0088. If you want to follow my workout journey, that's where I post all that stuff. I also post my comic book reviews, and also beg the Blue Sky team to give me an edit button because I accidentally called Kal-El Carl
Nice. Good
yesterday. So
job.
yeah, give me a follow, and if you're cool, I'll follow you back.
Ben, Bathroom Brews MTG. You're probably watching it on the channel. I might start a separate channel for the podcast. I'm still debating that just for algorithm purposes. So if I do that, you'll probably find me on the Magic Boomer podcast channel, or it's on youtube.com/Bathroom Brews MTG or BRBMTG. I know my own channel, I swear. It's Blue Sky. You can find me at Bathroom Brews MTG as well. I'll have links to everything down in the video description for the show notes and such. Check us out live. We're live on Thursday, every other Thursday at some time,
Between
usually
8:30 and
8.
9 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, I'll probably start streaming like at 8 and just wait for you to get on. I think that's probably just like a good thing to do. Um, just
No pressure.
no pressure. Um, and yeah, I will. We will see you, nerds. Also, donate so Alex can get a new computer. For the love of God. Decide to be a YouTube channel member. Give us money. Sick. Cool. Love you guys.
Shill.
Chill. And I'll see you, nerds, in the next one.